A state of emergency has been declared in Portland, Oregon, over the arrival of the Proud Boys. And we know exactly what these Proud Boys are going to do when they show up. They are going to march around waving flags and chanting things about America. And then they'll probably go to a bar, get drunk, and then go home, because that's what the Proud Boys are likely to do. Unless, of course, Antifa and Black Lives Matter show up and confront them, and then violence erupts. Don't walk up to someone threatening violence, because then you will get violence. Yet Oregon, their governor, is declaring a state of emergency because of the Proud Boys. You've had 100+ days of violent rioting across this city, and it did not occur to you to declare a state of emergency only when the Proud Boys plan on coming. Now, I get it. Let's be real. Although it is really dumb that they didn't declare a state of emergency before and actually stop the extremists, because, let's be honest, they align with them. The Proud Boys showing up is going to bring a potential for serious violence and clashes. And the last time a pro-Trump right-wing group showed up, not that long ago, a Black Lives Matter activist executed a Trump supporter walking down the street. And I'm going to say it as direct as I can, because we saw him in the surveillance footage stalking this guy. So yeah, absolutely. The Black Lives Matter activists instigated the violence. Now they're trying to claim, oh, but the Proud Boys are coming to our city. You know what, man? I don't think they should. I don't think they should have gone there. I think the potential for violence is too much. And this is exactly what the left needs to smear Donald Trump. They've been, okay, there was a poll that found 54% of liberals believed the violence at these riots was started by right-wing agitators. So don't give them the narrative they want. That being said, the Proud Boys are allowed to go and protest and march and rally, for the most part, wherever they want. I mean, I say for the most part, because you're not going to go march on private property like in someone's home or something. But yeah, out in parks in whatever city they so choose. But none of that matters, because the Proud Boys had a press conference, and guess what? They won. It's done. The Proud Boys won. I wouldn't be surprised if the Proud Boys don't actually even show up. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not kidding. You know why? The Proud Boys held a press conference, and they said their goal from the beginning was to get a state of emergency declared and get the National Guard to show up to stop the far left riots. They won. They won. I don't know what's going to happen later today. Maybe some of you will watch this later in the day when everything's already kicking off, but I'm on the East Coast, and this video goes up several hours ahead of where Portland is at. It may turn out that once again, the Proud Boys tricked Antifa. Why? There was a rally that was supposed to take place in Philadelphia. The Proud Boys said they were coming, and then they didn't. And Antifa came out and started attacking people and fighting with cops. The Proud Boys can literally just be like, oh yeah, Portland? Yeah, we'll be there. And then they can just go play video games. And then Antifa goes, "Wah!" and runs around screaming. This may be, and I don't know if it is, because I'm pretty sure they're in Portland, but this could be one of the biggest political stunts we've seen in a long time. Why? Well, here's what I said, okay? If the Proud Boys show up and violence erupts, the media is going to point the camera only at the Proud Boys and give all of these leftists exactly what they want, and the Democrats exactly what they want. Right-wing agitators are coming to our city and attacking us. Oh, no. Then you're going to see stupid things from like Mayor Ted Wheeler, who tweeted, on 9/26, alt-right groups and white nationalists are intent on coming into our community. Really? Where? Who? You're not talking about the Proud Boys, are you? These groups empower racism, intolerance, and hate. Those are not Portland values, and they are not welcome. Hate has no home in Portland. Violence has no home in Portland. Anyone intending to create fear, commit violence, or spread hate is not welcome here. That is a bald-faced lie, Mr. Mayor. Because, let's see, you've got Black Lives Matter, leftist identitarians. They hate people based on race. Okay, so do they create fear? Well, the New York Times just reported they showed up to someone's house and threatened to burn it down unless they took down an American flag. Check 1. Commit violence. Yes, for over 100 days. Check 2. And spread hate. Okay, I think we can say check 3. Why? Because these people are running around screaming, and they're nothing but hate mongers. They decry whiteness. Ah! So they have hate based on race. They commit violence, and they threaten people unless they bend the knee to them. Even you, Mayor Ted Wheeler, to the point where you actually ran from your own home like a coward. They went to his house, his condo building. They smashed it up, threw flaming debris in, and he went, and he ran away. The mayor ran away from his own home. Tell me that is not spreading fear. You, sir, are a liar and a pathetic coward who refuses to stand up to extremists. Unless, of course, he's actually just an extremist, in which case he's just providing cover for them. And that, to me, seems to make the most sense. And that's why with the Proud Boys showing up, the National Guard's going to come out. Well, I don't know if we'll see. And a state of emergency has been declared. Thus, even if the Proud Boys just go home right now, they won. That's it. Now, I got to be real. I think they'll probably show up. I could be wrong. And if they do, we've already seen what happened last time in Portland. When the mayor tweets things like this, accusing the Proud Boys, whose chair is not a white man, of being alt-right white nationalists, that is a lie. The Proud Boys have had members who were, I guess, I don't know if you can call them members, who were alt-right, and they got kicked out. And the Proud Boys are worthy of criticism in many capacities. That's their own fault. Sometimes they have started fights. But Antifa seems to get a free pass, and Black Lives Matter is getting a free pass. This is over the top. I'm not going to say that every single, Antifa guy is an extremist, white supremacist or something like that. I'm not going to say that every single protester who comes out in Portland is a violent racist or even Antifa for that matter. I have routinely pointed out that there are peaceful protesters, but if you're going to peacefully protest while shielding violent extremists, well, now we got a problem. The thing with the Proud Boys is they've denounced the racists that were in their group and kicked them out. Did they do a good enough job, in my opinion? Probably not. I don't know. But I'll tell you, I don't care if you want to call them, if you want to say that they're white nationalists or alt-right or whatever, so long as you're equally targeting the other, the Antifa and Black Lives Matter extremists. But it doesn't even matter what your opinion is, okay? There's a long history of what the Proud Boys have done and who they are. And so, okay, fine. The problem is they won't declare a state of emergency over Antifa. Donald Trump's apparently preparing a plan where he's going to put $500 billion into the black community, and he's going to designate the Klan and Antifa as like terrorists or in some capacity. I don't know to what extent you can actually do that. But anyway, let's actually just read the news because, I've been ranting on this without actually giving you the context. The Daily Mail says Oregon governor declares state of emergency in Portland and says she is incredibly worried about violent clashes ahead of Proud Boys rally on Saturday in city plagued by Black Lives Matter protests. Leaders of the self-described Western chauvinist Proud Boys called Saturday's rally to end domestic terrorism after 4 months of near daily demonstrations against police violence and racism in Oregon's largest city that have often ended in violence. Many out-of-state demonstrators, some armed, were expected to attend the Proud Boys event in a park about 6 miles north of downtown, state officials said, with organizers expecting a crowd of up to 20,000, according to local television station KGW8. We can see here Columbia River Proud Boys. It's really funny. The Proud Boys started as a joke by Gavin McInnes, and it's not even an exaggeration. It was about, he talked about this on Joe Rogan, where there was a song about, proud of your boy or something like that. And then he made a joke where he was like, okay, you can be a Proud Boy if, we punch you and you name 5 breakfast cereals or something like that. Apparently you have to say this thing about defending or not apologizing for the West. And then you become a Proud Boy, and then they got to punch you, and you got to name breakfast cereals because it was a joke. Now it's like after Gavin stepped down, now it's an actual group of people with a chairman, and it's just this timeline is fantastic, isn't it? Here's what they say: police hope to keep right-wing groups apart from left-wing counter-protesters set to gather in another park about 2 miles away. Quote: I am incredibly concerned about the increased risk of violence in Portland this weekend, Brown told reporters. Brown also noted the Proud Boys and Patriot Prayer groups have come to Portland time and time again from out of state looking for a fight, and the results are always tragic. She then added a warning to the group. Let me be perfectly clear. We will not tolerate any kind of violence this weekend. Ah, there it is. Only this weekend. Those stoking the flames of violence, those coming to Portland looking for a fight, will be held accountable, Brown said, according to Fox News. Under her emergency declaration, state troopers in the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office will lead a law enforcement task force authorized to use proportional force including tear gas, to keep the peace, said Oregon State Police Superintendent Travis Hampton. And of course, then you can see photos of what Antifa does. Portland's Mayor Ted Wheeler banned the city's police officers from using tear gas on September 10th following criticism that it was being overused as a crowd control method during the months of BLM protests in the city. Proud Boys chairman Enrique Tarrio said his group did not intend to cause violence. We will be peaceful unless provoked. I encourage people to protest us, Tarrio said on Twitter on Tuesday. What we won't condone, he said that on Twitter? I thought he was banned. What we won't condone or tolerate is violence toward attendees. The men-only Proud Boys group describes itself as a fraternal organization that is anti-racism and anti-political correctness. Civil rights group the Southern Poverty Law Center, which has no credibility, classifies the Proud Boys as a hate group, citing its members' anti-Muslim and misogynistic rhetoric. Well, I classify the Southern Poverty Law Center as a conspiracy theory wingnut scam, in my opinion, because they once ran an article claiming, okay, this is fantastic. I love this. They said that I had attended a Holocaust deniers conference in Iran. I've never been to Iran. And their source, it was not only a Holocaust denial website, it didn't even exist anymore. It was an archive of a website that didn't exist. It was taken down, and it was a conspiracy theory website claiming that Tim Pool and a bunch of others had traveled to Iran's Holocaust denier conference. I've never been to Iran. Oh, man. They ended up retracting the thing and apologizing. Bravo, Southern Poverty Law Center. Bravo. They say President Donald Trump, who has made law and order a principal theme of his bid for re-election on November 3rd, has singled out Portland as one of several Democratic-led cities he calls anarchist jurisdictions. His Democratic challenger, former Vice President Joe Biden, says Trump's rhetoric is stoking the violence. Well, check it out. This Left Coast Right Watch, whatever that means, says they went to an effing Proud Boys press conference and it was absurd. I got there late. It was mostly BS, blah, blah, blah. Harumph. Okay, well, in the press conference, it's I believe it's Joe Biggs and Enrique Tarrio, and they're basically explaining why they came. And it's very simple. By saying they were coming, the police now intend to keep the groups separated. The police intend to actually enforce the law. A state of emergency was declared, and it seems like they've tricked the government into actually, enforcing the law against people they don't want. But here's the problem, Proud Boys. It doesn't matter if they declare a state of emergency. It doesn't matter if they arrest Antifa. The problem is the DA is releasing them, so sure, they'll gas Antifa again. I mean, they banned gas on September 10th. Maybe they'll come out with it now. You know what's going to happen? They're going to arrest the Antifa people. The Antifa people who get arrested will be cut loose almost instantly, and the Proud Boys will get the book thrown in their face so hard their noses will break and there will be blood spraying out of their faces. They are going to drop the hammer on the Proud Boys because this is a far left extremist jurisdiction. That's the only explanation for why they allow Antifa for over 100 days, and Black Lives Matter, to set fires and attack people, destruction, rampaging throughout the city and residential neighborhoods. When the New York Times said that they went to a guy's house, or there was a neighbor who was challenging them. He was a black veteran who was, he ran a nonprofit helping homeless people or something like that. And he said that he sees them across the street yelling at some guy for having an American flag on his house. And they said, if you don't take it down, we'll come back and burn your house down. They won't enforce the law against these people. And you can see what Ted Wheeler has already started to do. And here we go. The Democrats are going to claim that Donald Trump supporting white supremacists are marching around attacking innocent people and invading their cities. They already started doing it the last time Trump supporters showed up. Now, some people have said, and I'll tell you this, you want to come to me and say, I'm telling them they shouldn't exercise their First Amendment rights or whatever. You are incorrect. They absolutely can. I'm not telling them they can't do this. I'm just pointing out the simple fact. It is terrible strategy. Now, I will admit, it is very, very clever strategy, in tricking the police to actually, enforce the law. And that's very clever. And the Proud Boys might not even show up. That would be the ultimate win, in my opinion. I'm going to say it right now. If the Proud Boys don't show up at all, like they did in Philadelphia, this will be the most hilarious and epic win they will have pulled off ever. A state of emergency declared simply for putting out tweets Amazing. Hey, we're going to show up to a park. We'll be peaceful. State of emergency. They run around screaming. Yep. That will be the epic win. No matter what happens, even if they remain peaceful, if they do show up, like I said, the media is going to take a couple pictures. Ted Wheeler, Schiff, Pelosi, Schumer are going to be like, these white supremacists, these Trump supporting our city is not safe. This is Trump's America. And they'll lie. And people will believe it. And that's the challenge. That's why I say it would be the most epic win if they don't actually show up. You know why? Then there won't be any photos of them. And the only thing you'll get in the news cycle is Antifa running around, smashing things and punching cops. And then, as we've seen, the riots hurt the Democrats. This may be. Look, the Proud Boys did it before. They said they were coming to Philadelphia. I live over here. Well, for the time being. And they never showed up. And Antifa ran around like hitting journalists. And one dude attacked a female journalist, pulled her hair back. And this just creates more videos that hurt the left and hurt the Democrats. So that's the most powerful play right there. Literally not showing up, sitting back at a bar, having a drink and laughing how you've manipulated them and they're too stupid to figure it out. I don't know what they're going to do, though. I think it's possible they pull this off, but I guess we'll only wait and see. By the time you watch this, you know, you probably have seen what's going to happen because I'm recording this in the morning, of course. And this upload goes up at like 10 a.m. Andy No says, this is how you start a panic. And he links to this tweet. Someone said, some of you have heard rumors of the fascist invaders intent to form squads, hunting parties tomorrow night in order to find and assault Portlanders. This is true. The fascists are calling it Operation We the People, and they mean to do it. Do not go out alone tomorrow. 568 retweets. No, they're not. That's not a thing. You people are insane. You know, it's the gang stalking thing. Look, I've talked about this. Remember, you may not have seen it. I did a segment about gang stalking. Gang stalking is a paranoid delusion people experience where they think they're being stalked by government agents or just like a group of nefarious individuals. It started to pick up steam after 9/11 when people thought they were being spied on. These paranoid individuals think, you might be working for them. Who are they? I don't know, but they're spying on me. It's paranoid, it's a paranoid delusion. Well, they go online and post about it. They find other people who agree, and they band together and take collective action based on a shared paranoid delusion. That's literally what we are seeing. I'm sorry. There are no fascist groups coming. They are not forming hunting parties. They will not be hunting down Portlanders. This is paranoid delusions. But people believe it, and they share in this delusion. And then you end up with people screaming that these right-wingers are everywhere. They're coming to our cities. You get people like Mayor Ted Wheeler, who's very, very irresponsible, fanning the flames of this. And look at this. Actually, wow, this is fantastic. One of the replies to Andy No, Tim Pool is right about the gang stalking stuff. They're paranoid schizophrenics thinking there's Nazis around every corner waiting to murder them. They all feed into each other's delusion. That's exactly right, Mr. King. I don't know what that is. That's it. That's it. Absolutely it. So when they go around smashing things, you have to wonder why it is they start fires and they have no goals. Why is it these people don't actually have a plan? Well, there certainly are some people who do. They want to tear down the system and install whatever, communist utopia or something. But these people are few and far between. They're the ones giving the unwell people weapons and encouraging them and telling them the Nazis are coming for you. They're around every corner. And these people believe it. They get roped up in this extremism. They panic, and then some of them actually get elected to office. It's a scary reality when you realize, it's a scary realization that you have government officials who are paranoid and delusional. How do you fix that? I don't know, because it's not like every single person who believes this is schizophrenic. Okay, and I think a lot of people don't know what schizophrenic means. I'm not going to pretend like I do either, but typically it's a reference to not just being able to discern between imagination and reality, something to that effect. Well, I've known some people who suffered from this, and it's sad. Medication really helped them, but I knew someone who believed that they were being spied on, and it's really interesting because it fits a lot of the exact same things we hear. Like, I'm being stalked and harassed by operatives and agents, and I'd be like, who, what, why? You're nobody. You're not doing anything, and like, they believed it. And they said their food was being poisoned and stuff like that. And then you see these stories where they're like, they're going to hunt us down. And that's not a thing. But it's not just schizophrenics, okay? That's the point. The people in government are sitting there and they hear wild rumors. They don't see any evidence. You know what? Let me give you a really good example of the troubled state of where we're at right now. Tim Pool, he's a liberal and he's going to be voting for Trump. Why is that? I think it's because the left is operating under a delusion. They believe the people running around screaming the sky is falling. I don't. I'll look up the evidence. Here's the best example. They published a story in The Atlantic claiming that Donald Trump called soldiers losers. It was disputed. Even John Bolton, who doesn't like Trump, said, I don't think that ever happened. You know, the reason we didn't go to the cemetery is because the ceiling dropped because of the weather and we couldn't fly there and they weren't able to drive for security reasons. And that was it. A guy who doesn't like Trump said, nah, that's not true. But the media ran wild. Trump called the soldiers losers. A video is going viral of Joe Biden swearing at and insulting the troops while he was giving a speech or presenting an award or something. He literally did it. It's on camera. I watched several angles of it. And yeah, Joe Biden, he called them stupid and the B word. I can't say it on YouTube. You know, I try to keep things family friendly. He said effing stupid B, apparently something like that. And he was like yelling at them to clap. He says it was a joke. What does the media do? The media says a video of Joe Biden just joking is going viral. These Trump supporters, what are they doing? Claiming Joe Biden would actually say, Joe Biden did. Is it supposed to be funny? I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to dedicate a whole segment to it because I really don't care about this stupid. Trump called him a loser and Joe Biden called him, stupid bees, whatever. Okay, I get it. Look, the point is, Joe Biden literally did it. It's on camera. I can see it. Okay? I know he said it. I've seen multiple camera angles and they've confirmed it's real. There's no proof Donald Trump called anyone losers, yet they believe that. So when someone comes out and says, the Nazis are coming, they go, oh, I just believe it. And when you show them a video of Antifa burning things down, they go, those Antifa guys with the Black Lives Matter shields waving the Black Lives Matter flags, they're probably right-wingers disguised as the left. And that's their shared delusion. And they're running government. So I guess we'll see how things play out. I got to say, I really am hoping the Proud Boys are pulling a trick on the left and don't show up. I really hope so. Because otherwise, it's just going to be used as propaganda by them. But I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you all then.